So Sam Altman gets kicked off the OpenAI executive team. Did you find out why that happened?
Yeah. There's a scene-by-scene recounting.
From who?
I can't remember the exact number of sources, so I don't want to misquote myself, but it was around 6 or 7 people that were directly involved or had spoken to people directly involved in the decision-making process. So Ilya Sutskever is seeing these serious concerns about the way that Altman's behavior is leading to bad research outcomes and poor decision-making at the company. He then approaches a board member, Helen Toner.
Ilya, for anyone that doesn't know, is the co-founder we mentioned earlier, the co-founder of OpenAI we mentioned earlier.
Yes. And he kind of does a bit of a sounding board thing to Helen just because Ilya's freaking out. He's been like sitting on these concerns for a while. And he's like, if I tell this to someone, this could also be really bad for me if Altman finds out. And so he asks for a meeting with Toner. And in that first meeting, he's like he barely says a thing. He's just like dancing around trying to figure out, hey, is this someone that I can maybe trust to divulge more information?
And Toner's role and responsibilities at OpenAI were?
She was a board member.
Just a board member.
Yeah, and specifically an independent board member. Okay. So OpenAI, when it was a nonprofit, the board was split between people who had a financial stake in the company, and then people who were fully independent. And this was meant to be a structure that would balance the decision-making to be in the benefit of the public interest rather than to be in the benefit of the for-profit entity that OpenAI then created. Mm-hmm. And Ilya, as a non-independent board member, was approaching Toner as an independent board member to try and see whether or not she was potentially seeing or hearing the same things that he was about the effect that Altman was having on the company. This then sets off a series of conversations, first between Ilya and Helen, and then between Amir Murati and some of the board members. Samir Murati was, at that point, the chief technology officer of OpenAI, where these two senior leaders, essentially through these conversations and through documentation that they're pulling together, like email, Slack messages, and so forth, they convey to the independent board members, 3 independent board members, we are very concerned about Altman's leadership. Like, he is creating too much instability at the company. And it is like he is the root of the problem. It's not, they were trying to say to these independent board members, like, the problem will not be fixed unless Altman is removed because of the way that he's pitting teams against each other and creating this environment where people are unable to trust each other anymore. And they're competing rather than collaborating on what's supposed to be this really, really important technology.
When you say instability, that's quite a vague term. That could mean lots of things. Like, instability could mean pushing people hard to work harder.
Right.
What do you mean by instability in as specific terms as you can possibly say them?
When ChatGPT came out in the world, OpenAI was wholly unprepared